Whitlam, BC. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save On Foods' $1 Million Touchdown to Win. If a kickoff is returned for a TD, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 are returned for touchdowns, you could win $1 million. Let's get you to Rod Black and Glenn Suter.
Week 9 in the Canadian Football League. Beautiful British Columbia, the heart of downtown Vancouver. There's BC Place, where tonight 2 big play teams are ready to get it on. You feeling a little something, Glenn Suter?
I'm feeling it. They aren't on the field at the same time, but they are the front runners for the MOP and will compete tonight. For the visitors, Zach Collaros has completed more explosion plays and has more wins than any quarterback in the league. Across the other sideline, Michael Riley leads the league in almost every other quarterback category, including yards passing, and an amazing touchdown-interception ratio of 10-1. The 2 top guns are on the marquee tonight, my friend. 2
great teams in the CFL West. Rick Campbell, his team, he says, still an unfinished product, coming off a loss against Saskatchewan last week. And for Mike O'Shea, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they've been the class of the league so far. 6-1, they've rolled off 4 straight wins. They are coming off a bye week. Well, hold on tight. Get ready for this one tonight. Friday night football. James Butler is back. Shaq Cooper is back. Blue Bombers will kick this off. Ali Murtada, new Blue Bomber kicker, a couple of games in. Has it on the tee. We'll get the signal here, and away we will go. The Big Blue and the big play, BC Lions, will kick off Week 9 again in the Canadian Football League, and away we go. Butler is back, and he is dropped near the 25-yard line by Nick Hollett with his 10th special teams tackle. And here comes the leading passer in the CFL, Michael Riley.
Over 1,800 yards in 7 games, and that touchdown-to-interception ratio just off the charts. 199 attempts after his first one tonight. Just 10 touchdowns, just 1 interception. Amazing TD to interception ratio.
He's pretty good at throwing the football.
Yeah, BC Lions fans have said, knock on wood when you do that.
Riley swinging it out of the backfield, and right away for Lucky Whitehead. Lucky has become a weapon as he meets his former teammates for the first time. Jackson Jeffcoat brings him down. Here are our starting lineups, brought to you by Expedia.
Yeah, up front, I put Kent Perkins in because you're not a rookie after 7 games in the league. He's a rookie coming in, but not any longer, although he has not faced Jackson Jeffcoat and Willie Jefferson just yet. First game against the Bombers. There's a leading receiver in the Canadian Football League in Lucky Whitehead. Big play receiver for Michael Riley down the field.
Lions have struggled on second down conversions. Riley pumps a couple of times, and now he's wrapped up, and he is ripped right down. And Stove gets to him right away. Steve Richardson back in the lineup, missed the last 6 games with plantar fascia. And Stove comes in and immediately heats things up.
Just makes his presence felt right out of the gate, makes this defense, the #1 defense in the league, even better. Just a little tenacious pass rush up the middle, blocked initially, but he keeps with it and gets to Riley.
Lions lead the CFL in punting. Snap Flintoff. And downfield like a torpedo. Janarian Grant nowhere to go. And now Zach Collaros will get his first kick at the Cats tonight.
Yards second to Michael Riley in the Canadian Football League. Again, we've mentioned off the top, and I know Kate did as well with the panel, that the 2 front runners at the midway point for outstanding player in the Canadian Football League, and number 2 there, 10-4 touchdown interception ratio, also excellent for Zach Collaros.
Of course, always with one of his main weapons as well. Andrew Harris play action. Collaros a dart over the top and into BC territory, and a familiar bit of chemistry. Zach Collaros and Kenny Lawler, 23 yards on this one.
Yeah, playing against his own defense right out of the gate, and Collaros on point right across the middle over the top of Jordan Williams, the linebacker that really didn't get any depth out of the gate in his first drop in that zone.
Bombers come in, ranked 6th in the air. First one a completion though. Now Andrew Harris with a stutter step. And banged up at the beginning of the season, but back he has 2.
Knocking on the door for that 1,000-yard or 100-yard gain. There's Stanley Bryant, left tackle. He's the veteran and the leader of that group up front. And Andrew Harris could still get to 1,000 yards. Needs about 90 yards a game. And has been knocking on the door to that 100-yard gain. 97 in their last outing against Edmonton.
3 straight rushing titles would be awfully difficult to get a 4th in a row after the games he's missed. Doesn't matter, he wants the W's. Collaros going deep end almost for Nick Dembski, who could not run underneath that.
Well, Zach Collaros is stretching the field right out of the gate. He's trying to send a message to this Lions secondary that includes a couple veterans back there in TJ Lee and Gary Peters that he's not afraid to go after. Throw that ball deep down the middle. Anthony Thompson, the safety, in behind Dembski, and they just miss on the deep ball.
This would have been about a 54-yard field goal, but new kicker Ali Murtada was 0 for 3 last week. Maybe out of his range right now. Mark Leggio, who started as a field goal kicker this season, now the punter, is going to try to angle one, and he does a pretty good job here, but where did it go out of bounds? Let's see where they mark this. It's going to be, maybe even inside. Yes, inside the 20s would be good, but now a flag down. There's a penalty. Anything in the air outside between the two 20-yard markers.
Out of bounds.
And it's a penalty. Michael Riley back at it. CFL's leading passer on Friday Night Football. Friday Night Football on TSN is proudly presented by The Brick. Saving you more. Nothing doing early on here. First quarter tonight in Vancouver. BC Lions 4-3. Winnipeg Blue Bombers 6-1. Michael Riley avoids a couple of bodies. And another incomplete pass. The issue for the Lions, if they don't get yardage on first down, second is much more difficult. Pass-happy team.
Let's take a look at the best defense in the Canadian Football League. They get even better with Stephen Richardson back in the lineup. You mentioned he missed a few games and now is back in the interior of that D-line. Jefferson and Jeffcoat with 10 sacks combined. Adam Bighill is the leader, but they get Kyrie Wilson back at that Sam linebacker spot. And in the back end, Dietrich Nichols leads the team with 3 interceptions, a rookie on that short side.
Riley passing again. Pressure again. Here comes Willie Jefferson, and he hits him hard. Ball downfield. Oh, that ball is caught by Brian Burnham. Just add another one to the highlight reel.
With this pass rush, the BC Lions offensively are going to have to get used to trying to adjust their routes on the fly, because you know that Michael Riley is going to be under some pressure with this front 7. And he is in this second series. He gets outside, gets it down a 44-yard gain, and a great catch from Brian Burnham. As you mentioned, just add another to the highlight pack for 16.
He makes the extraordinary look ordinary. Brian Burnham every time goes up and gets it. James Butler makes one miss, but not another, and then he is swallowed up at the line, likely setting up a passing down. Lions rarely run the football.
Now, Brian Burnham comes from a long way away, and that's what I mean about the scramble drills for receivers. He's on the left side, the wide side of the field. He sees the scramble drill. He's got that crossing route, and he adjusts it to the deep route all the way down to the numbers. Makes a great catch at the top of that route.
Almost like he has Velcro on those gloves. Must lead the CFL in outstanding catches. Riley, far side, and taking a lick, but he keeps on going. Keon Hatcher, only his 8th catch as a Lion. Former Arkansas Razorback moves the sticks.
Good timing throw here from Riley to catch that snap, make his read, and get it out to the soft spot in the zone, and then Hatcher does the rest. Couple extra yards after the catch, making the tackle of Alford.
Now down to that green zone or red zone, however you term it, inside the 20-yard line. Lions operate at 50% in this area. Riley shakes his head, throws again, and that one's up for grabs and way over the head that time of Hatcher.
We had a good conversation with Michael Riley this week about facing this defense, and he reminded us that, you know, when you're looking at Jackson Jeffcoat, Willie Jefferson, we all know the reputation, we all know what they can do, you see them on video, but he said, I can't get locked in or let my eyes fall down and look at that pass rush. It's got to be looking down the field, it's got to be looking past it, and trust that the O-line will take care of their jobs up front.
Injured Lion Hunter Stewart is down, being worked on, so we'll step aside and come back to BC Place on this first day of October 2021.
Taking a look at the numbers from Michael Riley, and you see first place in all those key categories: completion percentage, passer rating, which calculates all the stats for a quarterback, passing yards, first in the league, TD passes, and I mentioned just one interception in now 203 attempts. That's updated. That's unheard of.
Well, he'll be looking end zone again here. Riley hangs in, near side. Lamar Durant caught by his jersey, short of the first down marker. Good D, good hold by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and their ferocious defense.
It was good tackling because they were able to contain it, and that'll force the field goal attempt for BC. Lamar Durant, this was the only throw available to Riley to get it out there in that soft spot, and then he hopes that Durant can break a tackle. Wasn't able to because the Bombers were in great position. Rally to the football.
See Lions with new kickers this year, much like the Blue Bombers. Here's Jimmy Camacho from Fresno State. He's made 10 of 11. His brief CFL career so far. That one is good. His only blemish last week against Saskatchewan to delay going. Lions strike first tonight in this heavyweight tilt. Couple of gunslingers tonight here in BC Place. Two MOP candidates, and Zach Alaris gives props to Michael Riley.
From a personal standpoint, like you said, you're never really playing against the other quarterback, but you know, Mike's somebody I've always admired since I've been in the league. We kind of came in around the same time, and I've always really respected him. One, because I know you know how difficult it is to play the position, and you know, the work that you get to put into it, the dedication, and obviously just, you know, the way that he plays the game, I've always really respected. He's a really tough guy.
Great mutual respect between the two MOP candidates, and, you know, talking to Riley this week as well, and he had high praise for Zach Collaros and what not only he's done this year, but what he's done throughout his career in the CFL.
Oh, look out, Squibbler. Bombers have to jump on that. Lions elected not to kick it downfield to Janarian Grant, and here comes Zach Collaros. This one went right off the cage, it looked like.
Well, this is not a bad strategy sometimes in the kickoff to try and just surprise the return team.
Whoops.
And squib it, because the ball is not perfectly round. You never know. You never know which way it's going to bounce.
Shane Gauthier can attest to that right now.
Yeah, trying to recover, got that funny bounce, almost lost it, but Zach Collaros goes back to work.
Midway through the first quarter, 3-0 BC, and if you talk to Michael Riley about Zach Collaros, you might have the exact same soundbite.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It was mutual respect, no question.
Harris backfield, play action. Collaros. Back over to Lawler once more. about all of the offensive numbers and prowess for both sides, but the defenses here could rise up tonight.
J.R. Tavai back in the lineup for the BC defense. He'll play opposite of Obum Gwacham, who's off to a great start in his first year in the CFL. Anthony Chaffee comes in for Marcus Sales. He's out this game. And a newcomer, Bajor Wilson, on the corner. That'll be the wide side corner for BC. We'll see if Collaros tries to pick on him.
5-yard pickup on that second reception from Lawler tonight. 2nd and 5. Collaros with cover to Andrew Harris out of the backfield. Harris will get the first down. Just his 8th catch of the season. Don't use that dump pass a whole lot in this offense for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, but it works perfectly here.
Well, one of the best backs in the game has been Andrew Harris for a lot of reasons, and one is because of the way he can catch the ball out of the backfield.
1st and 10 from the Winnipeg 51. Nowhere to go. Lee spied Harris perfectly. They read that book right from the snap.
Let me show you a quick formation here. This is Zach Collaros bringing in 3 receivers the wide side. That's the rookie corner I talked about early. Just going to watch that, because that's one way to try and isolate a young corner at the wide side of the field, is to play bunch with your receivers, and then you can get a one-on-one where you're not throwing it all the way across the wide 65-yard wide field for a quarterback. So just keep an eye on that as the game goes on.
Bombers 3rd ranked on 2nd down conversions. Here comes the house and the catch and the first down to Drew Wolotarski.
Great second
Golden
effort.
Gopher with a great clutch catch.
Yeah, and second effort right after it, because he was held short. If he gets tackled on this throw right when he catches it, probably short decision time for Coach O'Shea right there, but he just gives it that little bit extra push, turns up the field, extends, and moves the chains. Nice effort.
Needed 11 yards. Got 11 yards. 1st and 10. Again, the Bombers in BC territory. The established ground once more. The former BC Lion back home to his 2nd home. Andrew Harris, where it all started for him here with the Lions, and really had his breakout 10 years ago in this stadium against the team he plays for now.
Yeah, absolutely, and he always enjoys playing here because of that history. And boy, he said this week, I mentioned their last game against Edmonton, he had 97 yards. He's been knocking on that 100-yard door, and he said this week of practice he felt better than he has all season long.
It's great news for the Bombers, bad news for opposition. Sidearm that time, and once more back to big Drew Wolotarski, and they'll move the sticks again. Bombers are marching here inside 4 minutes in the 1st quarter.
It was a sidearm throw, wasn't it? It was Collaros just throwing around the rush and making sure that he can direct that football with a different launch level from his arm and adjusting that throwing motion.
Former baseball star in high school in Steubenville, Ohio. Played baseball as well at Cincinnati, where he was a Bearcat. Of course, star football player. Oh, there goes Andrew Harris now. Bashing, crashing, down inside the 25-yard line. And Andrew Harris starting to heat up too.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to think that the league's leading rusher the last 3 seasons is having his best week of practice and feels better physically now and mentally, emotionally ready than he has all season long. This is his 5th game back, so he's been back for a while, but is starting to get back in that groove, that Andrew Harris style that we're used to seeing.
Last time we saw that, Grey Cup game, 2019. Most outstanding player in the game, most outstanding Canadian. Collaros now looks and fires over the top again. Right through the middle. Threads it perfectly to Lawler once more. Down to the 15-yard line.
Boy, great start to the season for Kenny Lawler. And that has sort of trickled down, not because he hasn't been playing well. What a great catch. What a great catch. But not because he hasn't been playing well, but because there's so many great targets for Zach Collaros, and everyone's kind of taking their turns with Darvin Adams back, and Rashid Bailey playing the way he is, so Lawler involved early in this one.
Said, hey, Brian Burnham, I got some acrobatics myself. Harris on 2nd and 3. They plow and bury that helmet. First down again. They go inside the red zone once more.
Andrew Harris told us this week that he has a 3-point attack. His first is the aiming point. A lot of running backs don't really focus on their aiming point to the line of scrimmage, pressing the line, so not juking back behind the line of scrimmage, but pressing it, and then as soon as you get to that line of scrimmage, exploding through the hole. It's his 3-point attack to running the football. Great conversation with him this week about how he thinks about it.
Bombers, Colaros, that was knocked down, it seemed. Couldn't get anything on that throw, and big pressure. There was a flag down in the end zone, though.
Illegal contact on receiver, BC number 11. We're going to go off the distance, but it will be a first down.
First down, says Andre Prue, our referee tonight. Anthony Chaffee is flagged for that. First and goal, 1:08 first quarter. A Bomber team that is the best in the CFL inside the 20-yard line.
That's Nick Dembski inside. And is that who Chaffee makes contact with? Yeah, right there at the goal line.
So first and goal. Who will Colaros go to? Empties the backfield. Looks end zone. Throws it up. And trying to stretch out and lay out. He's looking for Rashid Bailey. That was just a little too far outside his grasp. So 2nd and goal.
Marcus Sales out of the lineup for BC, the former Winnipeg Blue Bomber. It looks like Zach Collaros in his game plan has got a little bit of a plan here to attack the replacement, Anthony Chaffee.
Oh, that looked like that was interference. 2nd and goal. Final 30 seconds, opening quarter. So far, the two high-powered offenses have been held at bay. Colaros, though, again, he has to scramble. He throws it to the far side. Out of bounds. Here's Kenny Lawler. So both teams drive the football impressively in their last drives, but the best they're going to come up with, field goal attempts.
This hasn't been an issue for the Bombers to get down in the zone. Wow, that's close too.
Yes, it is.
I thought he was clearly out of bounds, but it looked like he was dragging that toe. Every scoring play or potential scoring play is reviewed in real time by the command center. So unless they stop the game, they saw what the on-field official saw, which is that he was just out of bounds. Closer than I thought.
Ali Murtada, who missed 3 times last week, makes his first in the Canadian Football League. It's Justin Chippy. He'll get his confidence. The Bombers strike back and tie it at 3. Lawler almost on Friday Night Football. Well, all eyes tonight on the man called Lucky. Rodney Darnell Whitehead. Lucky Whitehead, 2 touchdowns last week for the BC Lions against Saskatchewan in a losing cause, but you know Lucky's looking forward to this one tonight against his former mates. With more on that, let's go to the sideline and join Blake Price.
As you mentioned, Rob, just the one play from scrimmage so far for Lucky, but a big night for him already because for the first time since 2018, he has family in the stands to watch the action. Nobody was able to get up in 2019 when he was a Winnipeg Blue Bomber, but his brother Mikey was not going to let another season pass him by. Was so excited back in week 1, booked tickets for him and his girlfriend to come and visit. And on 3 flights, they finally got here. Went shopping for their Lions gear that they finally found, got in place for kickoff, and are enjoying the first quarter, no doubt. They normally are quite busy on text between the two brothers throughout the course of the game. Lucky's expected a quieter phone in this one. Guys?
Only 3 flights. There they are. Welcome to Canada. Glad you got here. We're going to hear more from this guy tonight. Guaranteed. on Friday Night Football. End of first quarter, 3-3. Tie ball game after one quarter here in BC Place tonight, 3-3. Bombers and Lions. We came in hyping this about the offense.
They're just getting started.
They're warming up. Please tell me they're warming up.
Yeah, two pretty good drives by both quarterbacks. So Riley and Collaros both got some drives together. We saw a little sprinkling of Andrew Harris. I'm sure we'll see more of that. And very little in the running game from the BC Lions. And that is really not a surprise, because, you know, they're a pass-first team, almost an 80-20 split when it comes to throwing the football or rushing it. So, you know, not a surprise, although it may help them if they can get that little bit of a run game going to try and slow the pass rush of the Winnipeg front seven.
Another theme coming in, of course, big plays. These two teams, 1 and 2 in big plays. 20-plus yard runs, 30-plus yard passes, returns as well. We've really only seen one big play so far, that to Brian Burnham. As Riley, what a shot there. Flag down, catch made. Lucky Whitehead comes up wincing.
Yeah, I guess. Brandon Alexander timed that
Holding
up big time.
BC number 51. 10-yard penalty. We're going to replace second down.
Worse news for Lucky and the Lions is that this is coming back.
Yeah, I guarantee you that hit hurts more that it came back.
Wow.
Clean hit, well timed. I believe the head was part of the process. That was right shoulder, right in the chest of Lucky Whitehead. He looked like he was favoring that wrist, or they're taking a look at his right hand.
Lucky Whitehead coming in as the CFL's leading receiver. Has been so good. Coming over as a free agent back in 2019, of course, was great with Winnipeg. Riley now leans back, pulls the trigger once more, and again goes to Keon Hatcher. Also Oklahoma native, a former all-SEC second-teamer, and they might have to lean on somebody like Hatcher now with Lucky Whitehead on the sideline. We'll try to get a report from Blake when we can.
Javon Katoy also, or a Shaq Johnson. Yeah, when your number one guy is on the bench, you've got to find the next target. Of course, Burnham would be number 2.
A low driving spiral. What a kick that was. Here's Janarian Grant. Makes his season debut tonight. 3 returns on touchdowns back in 2019, but has missed the first 7 games with injury. Well, week 9 continues tomorrow with a CFL doubleheader. First up, Alouettes and Tiger Cats. Jeremiah Masoli will lead the Cats. It's at 4 Eastern, followed by the Rough Riders and Stampeders. Will be at McMahon tomorrow night. Suits for that one at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, and that too could have Classic written on it.
Wow, I mean, I know that the Stampeders have struggled this year, but they are still in the fight. I believe they have the Saskatchewan Roughriders 3 of the next 4 weeks, and they will change their fortunes with a win tomorrow.
Collaros, shotgun, loads of time here now. Pocket moves, look out, throws it over the top and making the grab. Somehow that was kind of a prayer thrown up for Wolodarski, who has made 3 clutch catches now. That one for 12 yards.
Yeah, and this is what Zach Collaros does so well, Rod, when he, and this is one thing that Michael Riley, when I asked him about Collaros, he brought this to my attention, just the way he buys time, the way he, he doesn't get credit for being a running quarterback necessarily, but he is a great scrambling quarterback that buys time, can throw from different angles. Nice completion.
Dembski gets some blocking help. Dembski, the stiff arm, it's up about 6 or 7. Interesting play call from the Blue Bombers that time.
Well, Mr. Swiss Army knife, Nick Dembski, can run him at the tailback spot. You can put him out at wide out. You can put him in the slot, give him that little slot back screen, and get him in space, get a good gain on first down.
Gave him 8, so 2nd and 2. Blue Bombers to just get inside the 45-yard line. Play action once more. Slant. And guess what? Lawler has that again. Anthony Thompson saved a touchdown. They had everybody going left, and Lawler was on the right side.
And throw placement from Zach as he throws this up the field a little bit to take Lawler to the opening. And just if he throws that across on more of a crossing angle, Lawler takes a hit like Lucky Whitehead just took a hit. But he threw it just up the field to lead him into a 20-yard gain.
9 of 12 is sacked so far in this tie ball game, early second quarter tonight. And good protection. He's going end zone. Jump ball, and it's caught by Lawler. Touchdown, Winnipeg.
There's the first test for the rookie corner.
Wow, the Blue Bombers come out firing here in the second quarter, and Kenny Lawler has his 4th touchdown of the season.
First of all, the big boys up front are giving Zach Collaros lots of time to be comfortable in that pocket. He throws it up for Lawler. One-on-one matchup against a rookie in his first game in the CFL, and goes out there and tests him. Lawler comes down with him.
Golden Bear from Cal, Kenny Lawler.
Already. Nice catch.
Bombers' most outstanding rookie candidate 2 years ago in their Grey Cup campaign. One thing Murtada hasn't missed on are converts so far. Now the offenses are heating up. It's Friday night, that's why. The Blue Bombers with a big play, and Kenny Lawler goes up, comes down with it.
Let's take a look at the matchup and the route. Nothing fancy about it. Kenny Lawler straight down the field. There's the rookie corner in Bajor Wilson in his first game in the CFL, in pretty good positions. Got his eyes on the quarterback. Should lock in a little bit more to his receiver and then cut underneath and not get blocked out. He saw the ball thrown, but man, Lawler climbs the ladder, goes down and rips it out of the air right in front of him.
Jalen Edwards-Cooper was there too, and of course he's moving inside in this game with the injury to Keontae Harden. There goes Carter. Pretty good return up near the 35-yard line, and so Michael Riley, your turn to answer here as the Blue Bombers come out of the gate in the second quarter and put up 7. Just 4 of 6 so far. That's unlike the BC Lions in their pass offense, which is #1 in the CFL so far this season, and that might say something about what that Blue Bomber defense is doing right now.
Absolutely, and no Lucky Whitehead on the field in this series.
Lucky here. This is good news for the Lions. Run the football against something they don't do. With more on Lucky Whitehead, let's go down to Blake Price.
Guys, pretty quick interaction on the sidelines when he came off with that injury. He's still in that extreme discomfort that we saw, the grimacing. Took his glove off, had a quick look at it, and was escorted back to the room. They do have x-ray capabilities here at BC Place Stadium, but no confirmation yet that that was yet the call for the training staff.
Yeah, that could be a big blow. We'll stay on top of that. CFL leading receiver had this date circled on his calendar against his old team. Second down conversion time. Here comes that rush. And there goes Mike Riley with his feet, and he's caught from behind by the stove. Loose football. Adam Big Hill picked it up, but I wonder if that was out. The whistle did blow. Great chase by Stephen Richardson.
Yeah, this is outstanding second effort because Stephen Richardson goes up the field.
That ball is out, Suits.
Yeah, it is. And was it recovered immediately by Michael Riley and then down by contact, or did Adam Big Hill get there? Ball's out. Now does Riley have it there and then Big Hill takes it away from him? And will he get credit for that extra yard as he was picking up the fumble?
Well, it's third down now. They'll line up, they'll come forward. Third and a long unique play on third down, certainly for the BC Lions. It did work.
It's risky. It's risky when you do that, when you need a couple of inches for the first down and you go sideways, because it allows the defense, if they can get upfield, to cut you off and cause the loss. But it works for the Lions this time. I'm sure it'll work again.
This Rourke, the star at Ohio University. Riley fires far sideline. Shaq Johnson has his first of the night, back down to Blake Price.
Guys, I hate to impart this for Mikey Whitehead in the stands and his girlfriend, but they travel all that way, and Lucky Whitehead's night is done. He will not return to this one.
That is just too bad. Bad news on this play, and what a shot by Brandon Alexander. And Lucky Whitehead done for the night. Hope it's not too long. Lions will have to do it without Lucky now. Comes the blitz once more. Pressure again. And Javon Catoy rumbles for a first down.
Well, that's it. And one person's or one player's misfortune is another's opportunity. And so Javon Catoy gets a chance to get a whole bunch more reps. And he is an interesting athlete. He's a big target. He's a big physical receiver that can get open down the field too if you fall asleep on him. You're going to see more of Catoy, a little more of Shaq Johnson.
Former junior player in these parts. Took the path that Andrew Harris took. And play action. Look out, Mike Riley, you're going down. Oh, Jackson Jeffcoat with his 6th sack of the season. Michael Riley did not even see him coming.
Yeah, this is the matchup pointed out in the introductions and the starting lineups. There's the starting right tackle in Kent Perkins and Jackson Jeffcoat off the edge. Okay, here you go. This is the first time the rookie has seen Jeffcoat or Willie Jefferson. And Jeffcoat gets upfield, swims around him. Michael Riley, no chance, turns his head, and there is number 94 right in his kitchen.
That pressure is going to be a factor all night. Here they come again. Riley has to move the pocket. Willie Jefferson chasing. Not too high. Far sideline.
Now the left tackle, Joel Figueroa, he knows about Willie Jefferson and Jackson Jeffcoat. This time it's Willie Jefferson in chase from the backside of the play, and he's going to come all the way around the horn and go after Mike Riley from behind. Now Riley gets it out of there, but that's an inside move that freezes Figueroa. Around comes Willie Jefferson in chase, and I don't think Riley liked that he went down on his legs there.
Challenge flag thrown by Rick Campbell, and is he challenging interference here?
BC is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe there was roughing the passer on the play.
Roughing the passer.
The play will be reviewed.
So this was after Riley had thrown the football.
Well, this will be interesting because he doesn't have the protection of the pocket, and yet he was still running to throw.
Well, maybe. We'll see if that challenge works out for Riley and the Lions.
Well, this will play one more time, and Jefferson is low from behind, but at this point Riley doesn't have the protection of the pocket. He's outside and running with the football, which makes him
After
a runner.
review, the ruling on the field stands. BC will be charged a timeout, and they're out of challenge.
Well, that could be costly down the road here. Michael Riley exhales a little bit too. Thought that he was roughed up by Jefferson, so it will be third down now. And
It's on me? No, you let go. You let go. No.
the punt team comes out. Stefan Flintoff. Again, #1 punt team in the CFL. Janarian Grant slipped at his 5-yard line. What a kick.
This Bomber team doesn't make many mistakes. I'm not sure that Grant may have wanted that to go in and then recovered in the end zone. Looked like that bounced inside. Put Zach Collaros in pretty tough field position this early in the game. I just take a look at the bounce. It might have been a bit of a question as to whether that would bounce out. I don't think it was going to, and that's right on the goal line.
I think you give up one there.
Exactly. Get that field position.
Now a long field for Zach Collaros and the Blue Bombers. Lead by 7, 6 minutes to halftime. Here on week 9 in the Canadian Football League. October is here. October football. Sidearm again. Far side. Rasheed Bailey lunging and reaching out for extra yardage.
With this field position, this is where defensive coordinator Ryan Phillips maybe not be labeled that on the BC Lion website, but he is calling the defensive plays, the defensive back coach, and this is where he needs the big stop, get his offense back on the field. And he's going to lean on his veteran DBs back there, and TJ Lee and Gary Peters. But interesting, Collaros saying that he sees a lot of Ryan Phillips in the secondary in BC, the way he used to play.
Flag on the play. Collaros is signaling that BC may have jumped.
Offside. BC number 45. 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
Zach was correct. There's Tim Bonner, Florida Atlantic product.
No question. In that neutral zone early there. A couple of Lions in it. Bonner leads their team in sacks with 4 on the season.
Collaros under pressure, throws up a duck. It's caught. Lucky that it was caught and not taken the other way. Dembski comes down with it.
Yeah, that one fluttered because of the hit. Zach Collaros just not being able to step into that because of the pressure, and that ball hung in the air. Anthony Chaffee was closing on Dembski, and I don't think he noticed it was fluttering like it was, or he might have taken that one and was only 15 yards to pay dirt. But Chaffee again replacing Marcus Sales, so he's just taking care of his responsibility, which was Nick Dembski.
Setting up a 2nd and 7 for the Bombers. BC looking to hold here. Collaros again spins out of trouble, dances now. Zach Collaros again, that improv, and another completion to Wolotarski. It seems when he needs 2nd down, call on 82, but how about the feet of Zach Collaros? Flag down.
Legal contact on the receiver. BC number 6, a 10-yard penalty will result in a first down.
So the big boys up front are going to say, if we're going to get a blitz, we might get a blitz in this formation. That's J.R. Tavai back there, defensive lineman lined up just off the line. See a blitz now. If we see it, you just step into that and make sure the blitzer doesn't get there. Yikes. Couture and Desharnais just said, nah, you're not getting our quarterback.
Bomber O-line doing its job again. Serious pass protection. There's Harris. And steamrolls for about 9. They might even give him more than that here. So they are saying it's a first down. Look at this run by Andrew Harris.
So there's aiming point. That's what he's thinking right now. Not looking at it yet, but when Collaros gives him the ball, he'll have his aiming point. There's his aiming point right there off the right side of that's his aiming. Now he's pressed the line of scrimmage, like he says, and when he gets there, explode. Press the line, aiming point, then explode through the hole.
Boom. Bombers digging themselves out of the hole as I'm down to the 3-minute warning. Harris again. Bombers have the only score in the 2nd quarter, that touchdown to Kenny Lawler, but might put more points on the board. It's the 3-minute warning on the field here at BC Place.
Coming up at the half, these guys promised me. They promised me they'd speak one guy at a time. One guy at a time.
Is getting
I'm quitting. I'm just going to quit. I'm quitting.
Seriously.
Sounds like an episode of The View.
Yeah, yes. or chaos.
Shouldn't take a shot at
Or chaos, like the baseball playoffs this weekend. My goodness. Talk football at halftime. Meet the boys. She can get a word in. Deep downfield. Oh! Again! Kenny Lawler is putting on a show.
Well, this time it's not against the rookie. This time it's against a veteran out there in Gary Peters. And he gets up in press position, and now Lawler comes back to the ball. Collaros throws it to the back shoulder, essentially, but inside to the back shoulder so that Lawler can just put the brakes on and come back on Gary Peters. Another big explosion play for the Bombers, and they are well out of the hole. They started inside their own 10.
Big play, big blue, huge 44-yarder, Kenny Lawler.
Having a night.
What a night, 126 already. Swinging it out to Nick Dembski right near the first down marker, and Zach Collaros has got his shredding machine out right now.
Well, part of it is due to the guys up front that are just leaving him back there. There's been a couple of times when he's had to avoid or try to get around the rush, but it's only been a couple. Able to sit back there and see which one of his targets down the field is open, and even if they're not, he trusts them, like Kenny Lawler.
And the Lion down inside the 5-yard line, so Collaros will wait here. There's Jalen Edwards-Cooper. They're already banged up in their secondary. We'll come back. Winnipeg up 10-3 and threatening. Man, unlucky Whitehead tonight, as he has got the ice on that hand, that wrist area. Got a feel for the guy. His brother comes up. Took a long way to get here. And we're watching now. They've got to cheer on Lucky's Lions. Zach Collaros, chance to extend the lead before halftime. Changes the play up here. Goes play action once more. Rolls and throws. Easy one. Touchdown, Rasheed Bailey.
Could have called this easily that he was coming to the wide side of the field. They were bringing this ball to all the changes in the secondary for the BC Lions. Why not go to where the new guys are trying to figure it out, and they didn't figure it out in time. Full roll for Zach Collaros to get outside on the play action, get to the wide field, and then say, okay, which one are you going to drop it? And you see the coverage, they're just scrambling. That's Anthony Thompson, who wasn't even assigned to that side of the field.
How about that drive, Glenn? Tato with the point after. Make it a 2-touchdown game. 2-score game. And there was barking going on after here. 9 plays.
Nah, man, that's you.
94 yards, took up 4:15. It started at the Winnipeg 6.
Major drive, and because of the changes, Bajor Wilson, the guy who Lawler got in the end zone, he's moved into halfback now, so he's in a second position, and he just gets caught with his eyes at Zach Collaros and lets his guy go. I mean, he just sits back, and in behind, when he tried to redirect, he slipped and fell. So you've got a young guy who was learning that wide side corner position all week.
Hey, that's for Philly, boy. Hey, expensive pain, October 1st, drop today. This what we do.
Yes, sir. Okay. Shout out to Philly. Where Rasheed Bailey hails from. Former Delaware Valley Aggie, and a 104-yard drive. Think about the hole. We were talking about Janarian Grant not giving up that point, and did not matter. It did not hurt the Blue Bombers. Now with 1:50 to go, Michael Riley's got to concoct something here to try to put points on the board, make this closer. And he's without his leading receiver for the rest of this game. There goes James Butler once more. right into the back of a Blue Bomber.
Well, it was pretty incredible scoring drive, and the guys up front helped out a little bit of. He had to scramble Zach Collaros on that very first play, but there were 9 plays, 104 yards, as you mentioned, took 4:15 off the clock. Nice catch down the field for over 40 to Lawler, another explosion play. The boundary to Dembski, and then with all the changes in the Lions secondary, that's exactly where Zach Collaros attacks.
Well, there is Mike Miller, the all-time leading special teams tackler. Broke the record set by the great BC Lion, Jason Araki. Watch this as he will get hit. And as he made the hit, he took the worst of it on Butler. So again, Miller with another special teams tackle, but this one really stings. Well, a lot of people watching in Winnipeg tonight, of course, and hockey season is here as well. Suits, Jets on TSN. Preseason coverage continues tomorrow. Winnipeg Jets face off with the Oilers. Action gets underway at 6 Central on TSN 3 in the Jets region. It's just so nice to have sports back, fans back, people showing their proof of vaccination, ability to come into stadiums and arenas. And
good to have Mike Miller back,
Mike
too.
Miller
back up off the field, leading the league in special teams tackles again.
All time now. And how many years did we watch Jason Araki?
Yeah.
And what he was able to do, former Lion. And we honestly, a lot of people thought, will that record ever be broken? Well, guess what?
It was.
It was by Mike Miller. See, he can return. Riley's in trouble. Out of it. There's Brian Burnham. Started the night with a huge catch. The Lions haven't been able to threaten that red zone or the end zone since. -2 yards on the play. Coming in, you might have thought if you were a betting guy and you had an over-under or a prop bet on who would have the more acrobatic catches, Brian Burnham or Kenny Lawler, you would probably think Burnham. It's been Lawler so far tonight. Look out.
It's a great point, and I would take Burnham. I'd take probably Burnham in the acrobatic catches against any receiver in the league. And Lawler saying, hang on a second, let me show you what I got. That was a pretty nice one by the youngster Hatcher, but it's a good point, Rod.
Don't count me out. Minute and change here for Riley. Swinging it out of the backfield for Butler. And he will stop the clock, and he'll get close to the first down marker. High-powered offense, octane offense for the Lions. We haven't seen them penetrate that goal line yet.
Heard the bench down there talking to Butler, trying to get him out of bounds, trying to get a couple of first downs. 3 first downs, and they are in field goal range. Can they execute that in a minute 6 before we take the halftime break?
Quiet BC place right now. The Lions trying to pump up the volume. Momentum has been snuffed right out. There is Burnham. Keep in mind, this is a Winnipeg team. When they have the lead, they are unbelievable closers. They have not lost when they lead after 1 quarter, when they lead after 2 quarters, when they lead after 3 quarters this season.
Yeah, and their defense just does not give up any points in the 4th quarter. It's been 6 all year in 7 games. 2 field goals. That's
crazy, crazy number. Riley pitches it out right on the midfield stripe. Butler's there. Big Hill's there too. Biggie back where it all began here in BC when he was such a force. Biggie and Solomon Alamimian, Grey Cup champions back in 2011. Always special, I'm sure. Adam Bighill to return. 2nd and 7. Big one here. Here they come. Riley lets it fly. Hot. First down. Once again, it's Javon Catoy, a 13-yarder.
That was just as big a hit from Brandon Alexander as the one on Likey Whitehead, but this is a big man in Javon Catoy at 6'5", 230 pounds. He absorbs that from Alexander. No problem over the middle and hangs on.
First and 10 from the 42. Time for a couple plays. Riley going deep here. Jump ball here, but out of bounds. That was too far for Keon Hatcher that time. So now another key second down, and the clock has ticked down to 21. You've only really got a couple cracks to the end zone.
Well, 2nd and 10 now. You are also you're also looking for field goal range. Put some points before the half. So he doesn't want to force it here. Turn it over and come away with nothing. This may be just outside the field goal range, but 5-6 yards isn't.
6 for 11, second down. Riley. Now it will be third down, and now you have to kick. Best you're going to do is a couple of field goals if this is successful, as Jimmy Camacho will come out.
It's stretching the limit. Camacho long on the season, 49. It's about the same spot.
He's only missed once this year, though. Camacho, and that was last week, and during crunch time against the Riders would have been a big one. This would be a big one, too, to lead 11. Camacho puts his leg into that and puts it through.
No problem. Money.
And a little dance as well. 17-6 is the score. It was better than nothing right now for the BC Lions.
Oh, that's big. You get some points before the half. Feel a little bit of momentum. You've lost your starting receiver, your top receiver, the top receiver in the league if you're the BC Lions, and you get a little momentum. You've got to drive with a couple of first downs there that finished in points at halftime.
And maybe in the second half we'll start to see the defenses start to force things. These are the top two teams in the turnover ratio. We haven't had a turnover clean ball game here tonight. You wonder if maybe there is a way that a forced turnover could change the complexion of this ball game in the second half. Seconds to go. You see all the Bomber linemen spatted out in pink. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, of course, in October. Blue Bombers have a lead here. Big second quarter for Kenny Lawler, for Zach Collaros, and the Blue Bombers. Up 11 on Friday Night Football as we send it back to Kate and the gang in the studio.
Relationship goals with these stats, Matt Dunnigan.
Oh my God! Hey, it's just the physical dominance right now in the first half, and it looks like Zach Collaros has got all day Mike Riley fighting for everything he can to stay in this football game. And hey, Kenny Lawler's putting his name out there for the MOP.
Kenny Lawler, 126 yards in the first half. Here he is with our Blake Price.
6 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown for Kenny Lawler in the first half. Is that about as good a half as you can have?
Oh, yeah. I'm always striving for better, so, you know, we're going to go out second half, get some more money.
This is a team that is renowned for its defense, but with stats like that, can you define what the identity is of your team right now?
We all around. We special teams, offense, defense. We're a three-phase team, and we take pride in that, sir.
Expecting more out of the Lions in the second half?
Always expecting more. Always.
Thanks for this.
Yes, sir.
Lawler and the Bombers currently up by 11. Back to Canada Place for second half action after this.
Hometown Lions outscored in the first half, outplayed. Here is their head coach, Rick Campbell, with Blake Price.
Coach, I'm sure not your favorite half of football, but you get some points late in the half. What does that do for your second half?
Yeah, we got to keep fighting. They were the better team in the first 30 minutes, no question, but we got to see what we're made of and come back out here and swing back.
What's the game plan without Lucky Whitehead?
Yeah, it's too bad he's out, but we got other guys that can do the job, and they'll do it.
Thanks for this,
okay, thanks.
Yeah, you saw that number 0-2 trailing at the half, also foreboding the fact that the Blue Bombers, when they lead at the half, have been unbeatable. So now this third quarter underway with Janarian Grant weaving his way up near the 34-yard line. And how about the night Zach Collaros is having? He has not had a 300-yard night or game this season, but he's on the verge. And Kenny Lawler has been off the charts.
Yeah, he's on pace for 400. Collaros and 126 for Lawler in that first half, as the panel just mentioned. And what a first half it was for Kenny Lawler. Starting out the season so strong, is really the #1 target for Zach. And they had a few games when Darvin Adams came back and the ball started going in different directions, and Zach Collaros was spreading it out a little bit more. He's gone back to Lawler tonight.
Yes, he has. Lawler was targeted 36 times. Andrew Harris down now for the Blue Bombers.
Yeah, let's see what happened to Andrew Harris on this cutback. Well, he just gets hit hard by Gary Peters coming on a blitz off the edge. It's a straight corner blitz from the short side. Catches him right in the hip. Again, a good clean tackle. Both the injury to Lucky Whitehead and that hit there. Good clean tackles, good clean hits. To see what Andrew Harris, if he can shake that off.
Yeah, trying to shake it off as he heads to the sideline. And his return back to the place where it all started as a junior football player with Vancouver Island Raiders. His high school football, of course, in Winnipeg. Collaros, time again. That O-line doing a great job. And Brady Oliveira. Remember opening night, the night that Brady Oliveira, a night he will never forget, when Harris was out of the lineup. He was inserted, and he went off.
Well, he can still say he was the leading rusher in the Canadian Football League in his very first start for his buddy Andrew Harris.
Bombers don't miss much with Oliveira coming in, but they want their star, their superstar, Andrew Harris. We'll try to get a report on him, see if he's able to return shortly. Play action once more. Collaros rolling, gunning far side. Darvin Adams buried right there, but yards after the catch once more for the veteran, former Auburn Tiger. 20-yard gain.
Yeah, if Ryan Phillips and this BC defense can't figure out a way to get more pressure on Zach Collaros, then Collaros will just pick his poison, or the Lions can pick their poison. He'll pick his receiver because one of them is going to open up. This time it's Darvin Adams. But he's got all kinds of time. He was very casually rolling out to make that throw.
First catch of the night for #1. Collaros up to Lawler again, his go-to. Again, as you said, Glenn, they really haven't gone to him much the last 3 games, just 12 targets, but clearly making up for it tonight.
Well, if you're Buck Pierce, the offensive coordinator, former quarterback in the CFL, you are saying, okay, we got Andrew Harris back in the lineup. Okay, we're going to go with our balanced attack, nice 60-40 mix, basically keeping that run involved, keeping the defensive line guessing, and if they try to blitz us, Lawler's in that lineup.
From the sideline, and a spin there from Andrew Harris. He's okay. Clearly, Andrew Harris pops up, ready to roll again. First down, Winnipeg.
Well, he's not the first back to run a spin move like this and to have that as part of his arsenal, but I'll tell you what, he has sure perfected it. Just the timing on how when he hits the hole and he spins out of the first tackler, it is amazing how quickly and how the timing of that and how difficult it is for tacklers to bring him down when he's in that spin move.
Lines up right behind Collaros in the pistol formation. Takes the rock again. And he fumbled the football. And there's the first turnover of the night. Early here in the third quarter. Famba Kamalu scoops it up. Friday night football. BC football. When we come back. Well, unbelievably, look who's back. Let's go down to Blake.
Guys, don't call it a legendary return just yet, but Lucky Whitehead is going to give it a go. A little bit of ice and some time, maybe some words of encouragement via text from his brother in the stands, but Lucky Whitehead is back in this game.
Well, after a huge takeaway by the Lions, Obum Watcham recover that fumble and establish ground about 4 or 5.
The question is, can he catch the ball with that wrist injury? You know, I mean, there's a way that you can really tape it up. You can put even a little plaster in there. He's trying to keep it out as he's warming up. He's not bringing the right hand in to catch the ball. He's catching it with his right arm and left hand.
Well, he's a guy who uses his feet a lot to get open. Maybe if he can get sprung, or perhaps something short, they might establish that with Lucky Whitehead, who was out of this game, it looked like. Now Riley, flag flies, and coming back to the football is Brian Burnham. Flags on both sides.
We'll see what these flags are, but one thing that Whitehead does bring is his speed.
Yes.
To pull the
Offside.
attention of coverage.
Winnipeg number 5. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Another good catch here tonight, a night of circus grabs, and of course Brian Burnham would also be part of that party.
Well, Burnham was working in tandem with Lucky Whitehead, who ran a deep corner route and pulled some coverage with him.
That's what Lucky could also do. He may not even have to see a football tonight. Now Riley goes. Oh, that's way up for grabs. Jump ball. Volleyball. Look at this. Hot potato. Nobody comes up with it. Jeffcoat had a shot.
I think, well, let's see. Who caused the problem on the throw? Well, that's off the edge.
Alden Darby.
Yeah, Darby causes the problems. Now it tips around. I thought Jeffcoat had the best look at it. Hatcher makes sure he can't hang on to it and plays DB here, because it looked like Jeffcoat had corralled it. Now, did he have it? Clearly he didn't have it long enough. They're going second down.
Lions get a big break here. See if they can capitalize on second down. 7 for 13 tonight. Here comes the house. Riley dumps it off out of the backfield. Detroit trying to get some extra yardage. Nick Taylor is there and got him in his grasp. So the Lions won't score any points off that turnover, but it was a key fumble recovery, prevented the Bombers from advancing anymore and putting more points on the board.
Well, this is an interesting decision, though, for me, for Rick Campbell and Lucky Whitehead, and what he can bring with his speed. But if you're a Bomber DB and you know he can't catch the ball, you can roll over to Burnham. I'm going to watch as this game goes on.
Janarian Grant induces a no yards call, a 15-yard penalty. Bombers leading by 11, and Lucky is back tonight for the Lions on Friday Night Football.
Zach Collaros putting on a show in that first half, over 200 yards passing and on pace for a 400-yard game. He had lots of time in the pocket. That helps for these star quarterbacks. Giving up a sack, getting Lawler involved. Lawler, some big catches, 126 yards worth of the 200 in the first half for Collaros. Lions are going to have to send some pressure.
Not too many blemishes tonight, just that fumble the last time they were out. Look at this shot downfield again. Big play, Blue Bombers. Wolodarski once more. Fourth catch of the night. Another 30-plus yarder, and right back where they were before.
Yeah, again, it becomes sort of casual as Collaros can just kind of roll out, wait for his guys to get in position. Basically, even if there's coverage there, he's just waiting for his receivers to block out the defenders. Again, that's the rookie side. Attacking it with a 37-yard gain.
Yeah, those rookies are getting an initiation tonight. Victimized a few times. Penalty flag flies. Looks like somebody jumped there. Rasheed Bailey comes back to the ball. To see what this call is.
After review by the command center, there is no infraction on the play.
So no flag. It'll be second and short. Well, Zach Collaros now number 1 ahead of Vernon Adams. Michael Riley behind, and most touchdown passes so far this season.
Well, I mentioned to both of them when I talked to them this week that, you know, you don't play against each other, but you know that everyone's talking about you two as the MOP front runners at the halfway point. And he said, yeah, I mean, great mutual respect as we talked about, but right now in that head-to-head matchup, due to the lack of pressure on one side and the pressure on the other, Zach's winning.
Yeah, Zach's attacking. This Lion D, not this time. Kenny Lawler pushed back on second down. That was a huge play by the BC Lions defense. They've had to come up big here, forced a fumble, got a recovery, and now they're forcing the Blue Bombers into a field goal attempt on third down.
Akeem Johnson with that tackle, and that, you're right, that's a big one. Not only to hold the Bombers to a field goal attempt, but for the confidence of those young guys, Akeem Johnson and Bajor Wilson.
Well, here is Ali Murtada, the new Bomber kicker, only a couple of games in now, was 0 for 3 last time out. Made 1 tonight and has now made 2. It's a 2-score game still. Lions defense bends, doesn't break. 20-6 Bombers.
People asking when I'm asking, they can tell I'm gone. Yeah, everybody knows we got relationship goals. Oh, got relationship.
Michael Riley getting ready to set up shop here. His team down by 2 scores. Guess who's back in the ball game too for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers?
Good to see Mike Miller back in there.
Such a force. Special teams. All-time leading special teams tackler. James Butler is back. Here is 10 getting some blocking help.
James Butler on the return.
Big hits down there. So now Michael Riley trying to improve on his night.
And we showed you a first half back of Zach Collaros, and he didn't get hit on one of the highlights we showed you from the first half. And Riley, on the other hand, every time, as Matty Dunnigan said, and he's been in games like this from that position, he's been taking hits and paying for everything he's got by taking tackles and hits just to get that inch.
Everybody's taking some hits. Pads are popping tonight. Bomber D. Reaching a shutout right now, and Adam Bighill got to Michael Riley. Got some help too. Biggie comes up big.
Well, here's my question with Lucky Whitehead. You saw him trying to catch. He comes out here and he goes post. Now the pressure gets there. We'll get to that in a second. But I want to show you, this is Lucky Whitehead on a deep post. He is wide open. Now, is that because the Bombers think he can't catch it anyway? Or is Mike Riley looking at Lucky Whitehead wide open down the field? Now, he doesn't have time on this play action turnaround. He's got guys in his face. He can't step in and launch it. But
goes Riley once more.
Adrian Nichols coming across to get that knocked down. That's just a great defensive play. To read it, break on the football, basically covering 2 players. You break on the football when the ball leaves the quarterback's hands and are there in time. But again, Riley having to throw on the run. And a nice knockdown.
Oh, another great kick this time. Jarian Grant stopped in his tracks. Bombers defense only allowing the 2 field goals so far tonight. There's always something new on Crave. Catch the latest groundbreaking series you won't find anywhere else this October, only on Crave. Claros, 5.5 to go. Bombers looking for their 5th straight win, continue their domination in the West, and they've been dominant tonight. All sides of the football, and it's going to go incomplete. Wolotarski, and he is clutching that face mask, and he's hurt. And he is in a lot of pain here, clutching his knee as well.
Just a few of these unlucky plays for guys, because he had to reach back and his leg was in the air and bent backwards. He got really clean hits, clean tackles, and just guys having a wrist or a knee or something in the wrong place.
Concerned Mike O'Shea. Wolotarski's been so impactful tonight. Clutch catches. We'll come back to BC Place on Friday Night Football after this. Well, Drew Wolotarski's still on the field, and teammates on one knee right now. Try to get him up. It looks like they are going to lift him up now, but here's what happened.
It's that right leg.
Whoa.
Grab the knee immediately.
Yeah, you can see it just bent. Way your leg's not supposed to bend, and Drew Wolotarski's actually walking on his own steam.
You see that
sideline? It was so good.
In pain with his knee, and then thought he may have fumbled the ball, so he reaches to make sure he secures that first. That's what the mentality of a football player. With your knee in excruciating pain, you turn and go, well, let me secure the ball before I worry about that.
He's that kind of guy. Grinder, gamer, former roommate of Chris Strebler, the former Bomber QB now in the NFL. Oh, coming back again and fumbling the football, Kenny Lawler. And another takeaway here for the BC Lions in this third quarter. With good field position.
They're talking about it now. The officials, they are going to say it was a catch and a fumble, because there was a discussion by the officials to see if it was an incomplete pass, that he didn't have control. But they are saying that he fumbled the ball as he tried to put it under his arm, that he had control on the catch. And Lacombo right there to scoop up the fumble.
And all turnovers are reviewed. But BC's offense is on the field. Another great chance here. Man Center has confirmed it is a fumble. Mike O'Shea looking at it, maybe even thinking about throwing a challenge flag, but
don't necessarily agree, but
no,
won't waste the challenge either.
So another chance here for the Lions. Riley squeezed in the pocket. That was almost given right back, and a penalty flag down. Is this interference?
Brandon Alexander, who's pleading his case, he came down here to get to Katoy.
Defensive pass interference. Winnipeg number 37. From where the foul occurred, it will be a first down.
Alexander has been a ball hawk and a hitman tonight, this time a little too early.
Well, he thought the timing was good. Let's take a look. It's on the run again for Riley, but boy, he swipes that right arm across. Now this is in slow motion, so it can be distorting. It distorts it a little bit. Well, there was a little contact just before the ball arrived.
The Lions now with some steam. 4.5 to go third quarter. A little dump off to Shaq Cooper. Harry Wilson is there. Another punishing hit.
Kyrie Wilson hustles there quickly, and he's up and healthy, but there is a Bomber that's down, and boy, the Bombers real excited to get Kyrie Wilson back into the lineup. And as the panel mentioned at halftime, that Kyle Walters bringing in not only great starters and putting his team together this year, but also the backup guys, and it looks like that's
Steve Richardson.
Yeah.
Missed the last 6 games, finally back in, was so impactful early in this ball game. Let's take a look. There he is, 98.
Yeah, and right on the left of your screen here. He gets pushed, so he's trying to get over and around the pile, and he just kind of lands awkwardly.
That is one big body.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
the stove's good.
The stove is fine.
Just heat it up.
Yep, the stove's still operating. We'll likely see him back. So for the BC Lions, incumbent now to try to get some points off of this turnover. They missed earlier. But also the ability just to stop what has been an almost unstoppable Winnipeg offense in this game tonight. 2nd and 7 coming up. Under 50% tonight on 2nd down conversions. Quick snap, quick shot, quick first down. Burnham. When in doubt, dial number 16.
Working on that side with Lucky Whitehead, who had the crossing route, and Burnham on the quick out. Timing there. Get a new set.
Inside the 30 now.
Playing with David Mackey up there at the tight end spot, try and slow that rush.
They come once more. That's a sick fly, end zone. And looking to make an acrobatic grab again is Burnham, but that was blanket coverage down there.
Yeah, Mike Jones, I believe it was, in great position, and you remember the Lawler catch when the young Wilson was behind him? Now look at how Mike Jones and his body position, making sure that if Brian Burnham makes the circus catch, and we've seen him do it many, many times, but if he does, he's got to go through the DB to get to the football. Mike Jones made it impossible for him to do it.
Keep in mind, too, that the Lions do not have a challenge flag left. Used it early in the ball game. Riley, look out. Down he will go. Another sack tonight. Kyrie Wilson got him in his grasp, and then Willie Jefferson and Jackson Jeffcoat finished him off.
I think the first guy who gets there is Willie Jefferson, and he's down there in that three-point stance and going in between the guard and tackle. That's your B gap. And there wasn't a whole lot of resistance. They get the band together. It's tough to stop them. They hit after hit.
Uh-oh. Look out. Does it go through? Yes, it does. Banks it in, and Jimmy Camacho. So the Lions do get 3 points off that turnover, but still have not scored a touchdown tonight. And they're going to have to. 2:05 to go. Number of drives that have just stalled there, and Camacho gets the benefit of the bounce off the upright this time. Let's go down to Blake Price for an update on Drew Wolodarski.
Guys, he's up and around and testing the knee out just a little bit. There were some screams of serious pain when he first got out of the trainer's table, but they worked on him for a little bit, and now just gingerly walking it out right now. Still no indication whether or not he's coming back into this one.
He is such a dependable receiver. Be a big blow to the Blue Bombers offense.
Here's the problem the Lions have right now. They're behind as this third quarter runs out. And when you're behind against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers going into the fourth quarter,
it's lights out. It's lights out.
It is tough. Now, we've seen trends broken before, right when we mentioned them.
Well, it's the curse of talking about trends. Marion Grant, first game back. We'll see, though. Again, you said it, though. The Bombers,
well, they shut the door defensively.
6 points they've given up all season in the fourth quarter.
7 games. In the fourth quarter, they've given up 2 field goals. That is it. In the wide open passing game that is the CFL, it's just that's a defense that shuts the door. So that's the challenge the Lions have. It starts with getting a quick 2-and-out here if they can from their defense. And to do that, the Lions are going to have to look at some blitz packages. I truly believe if they keep rushing 4 and playing zone behind it, I know they got young guys in the back end, Collaros will just keep going to work.
Collaros without his second down guy, Wolotarski, but now he guns deep again, and Nick Dembski made that catch. Nick Dembski made that catch. Oh my goodness. A flag on the play. That was interference. And somehow Dembski
defensive pass interference
came up with this.
Number 18, that penalty's declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Bring 3 receivers into that hash mark. That gets the matchups outside. That was Chaffee in coverage. He got the penalty flag, got there early. That will be declined because the gain is bigger. And what a catch by Dembski. But again, 4-man pressure from the BC Lions, not enough to disrupt Zach Collaros. He's just slinging it back there.
He is. 52-yard pickup for Dembski. Close to the score zone again for Winnipeg. Zach Collaros' first 300-yard plus game this season. Kenny Lawler hauls that in with a minute to go in the third. And throughout his career, wherever he has been, Zach Collaros, his eyes light up against the BC Lions and the Argos.
3:59 with a quarter to go now. Score here, we'll see how long he stays in the game, but big night. He hadn't been over 200, but that doesn't, or excuse me, 300 this year, but that doesn't first down, but that doesn't take away from what he's been doing, and that's why he's been in the conversation for sort of midseason MOP, is because I mean Zach has been making those explosion plays down the field when you need to. He only limited the interceptions at a 10-to-4 ratio coming in. No interceptions tonight so far. I know the 300 mark is sexy. It's where, you know, we always talk about the quarterbacks want to get to, but when you have a running game like they do, you're not going to get to 300 every night. Not at 60-40.
No, tonight though, special one here for Collaros. Last play, barring penalty. Here's a penalty. You know, you look at that trade.
Procedure.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers
Winnipeg
made.
number 51. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
In the fall of 2019, and what it became, it was almost now legendary. Well, what Collaros has done since that deal.
Yeah, the final piece of the puzzle, right? I mean, they had the trenches covered. They had the great O-line. They had Strebler as part of it in a very different style. Chris Strebler, different style of running quarterback, almost like a tailback in the back end. And then you had this guy join the group, and what he brought to the table was that final piece.
Delayed draw. To the penalty, Dembski goes down. That's the third quarter, and you mentioned it, Glenn Suter. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, perfect 5-0 when they lead after 3. Leading here, they popped it up twice in the third quarter. Very little damage, though. Bombers threatening to go to 7-1 on the season on Friday Night Football. Usually when you commit more turnovers than your opposition, you usually lose ball games. Not so right now for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Undefeated when they lead after 3, and they have fumbled twice here.
Yeah, this is in the second half, but it has not hurt them at all. Just a one field goal for the BC Lions that just can't get it going offensively. I mean, again, losing Lucky Whitehead, that doesn't help Michael Riley, but he's been under the gun. You know how at the midway point we're all talking about, Rod, like, you know, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are the best team in the league, but there's a bunch of contenders. They haven't played the Lions yet. The Lions are trending in the right direction. These are the conversations over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you watch the two go at it, and you go, okay. There is no question that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are the best team in the league right now.
You talked about the shut-the-door philosophy in the fourth quarter. This could move that door closer to being locked in this game. Collaros had a hurls one over top to Darvin Adams. Olacombo flying the hit.
You know, and I agree with Maddie in this panel, who basically said that it's in the trenches, that's where it starts for this Bomber team. We haven't maybe shown the road graders enough, because usually we get to that more often when it's a big night for Andrew Harris, and Harris has had some good runs, but Zach's been back there. He got a little pressure there. That's one of the few times we've seen it tonight.
Sean McGuire is out for the hold. Mike Benson the snap, and Ali Murtado. Murtado will once again put it through. So after going 0 for 3, a kicker from Sierra Leone, where he grew up, war-torn area, came to North America, moved to Massachusetts. He's played some indoor football, went to Pace University, and maybe he is the guy to provide some answers now. It didn't look good after an 0-4, but Murtado has settled down and puts more points on the board here tonight.
Yeah, he's got some confidence now after some real makeable kicks that he made. And I was really interested to see this matchup. And can the BC Lions here without Whitehead, with that Whitehead with one hand, because he is in the lineup and he is out here playing wide receiver, but can they break the trend?
It's not enough offense here tonight. You know that Burnham is going to have to be a factor here.
But Rod, this is what I was talking about at the break, where when you take a look at the turnover ratios, this is the first and second team coming in tonight. The Bombers were 6-1 because of that. That's a big reason. They're plus 15 in the turnover ratio. But right behind them was the BC Lions. Look at the interceptions. They take the ball away. The Lions were leading in that category and holding opponents to very few points when they do make a mistake. There is why you're successful, and that's why this matchup was so intriguing. But man, it just
duck and chuck there from Michael Riley. He's looking for Lucky Whitehead. I'm not sure he could have made that catch with one hand, but Riley saw his life flash before his eyes. They were coming, and they were coming.
Well, and Alford was close to picking that off. Yeah, you can see it looked like Adam Bighill, but again, Lucky Whitehead just trying to use one hand.
And off once more. Big leg. Increases his average. Grant tiptoes the sidelines on a 55-yard boot. 3-score game now here. BC plays tonight. Zach Collaros and company looking to make it 5 in a row.
Gordy's my roommate. He's not as cool as me.
That was so sick. That was so sick catch.
That would have been so ugly, bro.
Good job, 90. Way to hold on.
Oh, my God. Thank you, sir.
It's fun, yeah.
Let's get all the inside stuff. Those mics are on. They're hot. Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. CFL Wired. Interesting to see what we get from this game here tonight. Here in BC Place with their masks on.
Well, Lion fans are looking for an explosion play. The problem is that their guy for that was Lucky Whitehead. I mean, Burnham can get it done, but That's their issue.
Lions came in with the Bombers 1 and 2 in big plays, explosive plays. They just haven't had enough of those tonight. Fortunately for them in the second half, they have forced a couple turnovers. They desperately need to force another. Harris, though, is going to protect that rock.
That's good gain on first down for Winnipeg because of the defense they were facing. This is where Ryan Phillips decided he was going to run blitz. You know, this is the time of the game in the fourth quarter with the lead that you're going to see the running back. You're going to see Andrew Harris. So Ryan Phillips said, we're going to fill all the gaps with a run blitz, and it didn't matter. They still got, you know, halfway there on first down. Good gain on first down because Andrew Harris did it on his own.
Setting up 2nd and 5 conversion for Collaros. Like to drain some of the clock here early in the fourth quarter, and a good stop this time from that BCD.
Real good tackle by Jordan Williams. And if you were, we've talked about MOP at the halfway point, but if you're going to pick an outstanding Canadian at the halfway point, 2 linebackers for the BC Lions may be on your list. I mean, Jordan Williams, 2nd in the league coming into this game tonight in defensive plays made overall. Bola Kumbo with 3 interceptions. He's another one that you could put on the list as a front runner for outstanding Canadian. Big tackle there from Jordan Williams.
Well, the Lions will get the football back here. First 2 and out for the Bombers offense tonight. Marcus Davis nowhere to go, but the Lions have to get something cooking right now. Four tackles for number 4 so far tonight. Moving up the list is Biggie. With more, let's go down to Blake Price.
Guys, many special nights at BC Place Stadium for Adam Bighill over the years, wearing the orange and black of the BC Lions. He carried a lot of that into his first year with the Blue Bombers back in 2018. 2019 was a bit of a step back for Adam Bighill, but he has bounced back big time with over 40 tackles this season, and 4 more puts him in a tie with Kevin Ivan on the ninth on the all-time list. A Vancouver College grad, and of course a longtime Toronto Argonaut in Kevin Ivan.
Thank you, Blake. We'll see if Biggie comes up big here again. Look out. O'Reilly is Casey Sales got to him.
Well, it's not just the tackles either. He's just, first of all, he's such a great leader. I remember Mike O'Shea saying, his head coach saying, you know, Adam Bighill inspires me every day by how much he gets done in a day. All the studying and work he does in the gym and the weight room. He can play safety too.
Riley, far sideline, and that was almost intercepted. DeAndre Alford on that far corner, and right now not much doing for the BC Lions offensively, and it's all because of the pressure on Michael Riley and the defense just coming up large.
See, Bighill dropped way back there, and then he steps up. So we've seen him make plays in the secondary. That was another nice break by DeAndre Alford.
5th 2 and out for the Lions offense. All induced by that deep, punishing, relentless defense from Winnipeg tonight. 9.5 to go. Zach Collaros having his best night at the office in 2021.
And there's been good nights, a lot of good nights.
Especially when you get the dubs.
That's exactly what it's all about. That's why he has no problem with the being under the 300 mark, as we talked about earlier. He just wants to win games, and if it means, he said that to me this week, hey, if it means throwing the ball 8 times because Andrew Harris is having a night, then let's do that. he's fine with that, and exactly what quarterbacks will tell you.
Well, probably looking at his numbers saying, you know, I haven't had a 300-yard night. Well, why not go after 400 the way it's looking tonight for Zach Collaros? Dembski bounces out of bounds, but Big run that time.
You know, he has made the full rebound too. I mean, you know, it's been a long journey.
Which is good for the Canadian football
Well,
league.
absolutely. You can't have enough good ones. But, you know, him in particular, you remember back in his days in Hamilton and halfway point in that season, and he was just having a tremendous year, and then he got hurt. And then it was a long comeback to get back to playing the way he's playing right now. He's got a great cast around him for sure, but he's still the guy that's got to pull the trigger. And we've seen a lot of good teams with brand new young quarterbacks that don't know the league like Zach does, and they just aren't successful. It's such an important position. He's made the full comeback.
Harris, high steps, gets close to the first down. See where the spot is. They had to get to the 39. They will get the first down.
You know what else he doesn't get enough credit for is just his overall understanding and knowledge. I mean, the guy is cerebral. I mean, you know, some quarterbacks you'll talk to, you know, they get the general concepts and they're out there athletically doing their thing, but Zach is a smart guy. You sit and talk X's and O's with Zach Collaros, and you know, I think he is destined to be a coach if he wanted to when his career is done. He's got a lot of football left in him for sure, but
He set up to pass here. He's throwing it almost 87% tonight. That will increase the percentage, and look out, Kenny Lawler. Lawler down the sideline, knocked it bounds, and takes out a cameraman too. We hope that guy's all right. He got a shot.
He's okay.
He got a couple shots. Yes, he is okay.
He's all right.
Boy, that taking a hit like that from Kenny Lawler. Kenny Lawler, the hits keep coming for him. 39-yarder.
39-yarder. He's gonna close in on 200, and that cameraman looking down the lens is going. He really seems to be getting closer quickly.
Let's hope he's okay. Wow, that is a shot.
196 for Lawler. A couple of bruises for the camera guy.
Collaros creeping closer to 400 yards. And Andrew Harris and Collaros is over 400 yards passing. 403 now. What a night. Not for you.
No, he's good. He's good, though.
He's good, though.
Got up, got the ovation.
I'm telling you. Hardy.
When you're standing on the sideline of a CFL game, the ground is moving. I mean,
trust me, I've been down there. I've been hit.
Yes, the ground is actually moving when these guys come flying around the corner.
You got to keep your head on a swivel. Photographer's right back at it with his camera. Trying to get some more shots here tonight. This could be the final blow for the Blue Bombers. They put this in the end zone. Just the lack of resistance offensively from the guys in orange tonight. Lions will head to a bye week. Winnipeg will welcome the Edmonton Elks Thanksgiving weekend.
I'm not sure if this was a prop bet, but will the Bombers give up a touchdown in the fourth quarter? Would be a good one.
Well,
because they haven't all year.
They might be skewing prop lines. They were plus 52 coming in to this game. Plus 52
in the fourth quarter.
Now you'd think plus 52. Well, you might have given up 20 points. You know, whatever.
Please reset the game clock to read 6 minutes 31 seconds.
And scored 58. So they
that number in the fourth quarter, works out to about 0.86 per quarter, which is the best ever. Now again, there's lots of football still to come. Last time it was even close was back in 1969 when they ran the football a lot. By the Calgary Stampeders at 1.75 points per game. Bombers just doing it. The champs are playing like champs. Collaros steps up, and that's one of the few incompletions he's had as he got rattled as he threw that football.
Yeah, and this is you know, the Lions have a young a young, inexperienced defensive play caller in Ryan Phillips, who I think is going to be great as his career continues as a coach and as a coordinator. But that was full blitz finally from BC, and again, when he's done it, which has been a handful of times, it has given Collaros a little bit of problem back there. That one certainly did. So, you know, he'll look at the video, and I'm sure he'll go, you know what, we should have just said, we're going to send the house, and if you beat us, you beat us.
Well, particularly in that second quarter when the Bombers went off. Collaros is going to throw again. Quick hitter. Down near the 10. That's a first down again. They're inside the score zone. Kenny Lawler adds to his night.
Well, and here you go. I think that puts him over 200. And look at this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So Ryan Phillips says this time, after success on first down with that blitz, he goes to 4. Collaros sits back there. He finds Lawler. He can throw it right to the spot where Lawler can go down, protect himself, and get the first down. A nice little pitch and catch play on the curl route. And I mean, that blitz on first down looked like it banged his hand too.
Yeah. 3rd and 1. They marked it a little shy. Sean McGuire comes in. I saw Collaros there favoring that hand. They had to get just beyond that 10-yard line, 10.5. Where they came on that blitz. Collaros with his hand. That's the danger right now with a big lead.
Exactly.
And I see him still grimacing.
And I'm hearing Winnipeg fans from all the way into Manitoba saying, get him out. Get him out, because that was the blitz on first down. He had guys right in front of him, went down to the ground, and that hand came down, and he was favoring it right away.
But he's back in, as you know, Zach Collaros, and if you've been around this game long enough, can't take this guy out of a game. It took him so long to get back into games. So here they go once more. Collaros over 400. Kenny Lawler 205 yards receiving and still throwing. Out of the backfield, Andrew Harris put his bucket down and got it out at the 5-yard line. It's up 2nd down and goal. Where will they go this time? He's used 8 different receivers tonight. Kenny Lawler's been his go-to in the end zone. Missing Drew Wolotarski, of course.
The young guys in the secondary for the BC Lions are to the wide side of the field, so to Collaros' left.
Collaros looking end zone once more, and unable to come up with it this time as Lawler. Flagged down, though, in the end zone, likely an interference call.
Defensive pass interference. BC number 18. The foul occurred in goal. The ball will be placed on the 1-yard line and a first down.
That reaction was almost no kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Well, this is, again, youngster Hakeem Johnson now at that corner spot. And he's okay now, but he just kind of plowed through Lawler and really never turned around or played the football. So he gets the I just like the reaction when Lawler was looking up from the ground saying, come on, man. You know what that was.
So another point of domination for the Bombers. Sean McGuire leads the CFL in touchdowns with 6. Will he get 7? Yes, he will. Touchdown, Winnipeg. We talked about the door. It's locked now. Yeah. Locked and sealed, and Winnipeg is going to head home under 3 to play here with another win. It'll be 5 in a row.
Look at those road graders up front. Just driving.
Those road graders have been great tonight. 10 plays, 81 yards, 8 up the clock again. Those have been the drives they've engineered. 7 minutes. And that's one of the reasons that the Bombers don't give up points in the 4th quarter. Exactly. They own everything.
Well, time of possession. You don't have the ball, you can't score.
Ali Murtada again
That was my Captain Obvious moment.
It's okay, Captain. Ali Murtada, after a less than inspiring start, has been perfect here tonight for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Bombers have been near perfect themselves. McGuire's 7th touchdown. It is lights out at BC Place. Friday Night Football on TSN, proudly presented by The Brick. Saving you more. Beautiful night in BC. First day of October. 7 up, 7 to go. Midway through this shortened CFL season, where everybody's talking about each game being so important. But you know what? In October, we normally are talking about that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Ali Murtada bounces back after an 0 for 3 in his last game. Great night for him. Great night for the defending champions. James Carter. Brought down. 2:47 to go. Bombers ready to go home with another W. The Bombers' drive for 5 straight wins has all been about the drives tonight, has it not?
Yeah, it starts up front. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, and that allows Zach Collaros to do what he wants. Really, he's got the run game going. Got Dembski involved. We got Lawler is over 200 tonight. We mentioned that Andrew Harris finished off by McGuire on the quarterback sneak, who is the fantasy killer.
Killing your fantasy, is it?
Well, he gets all those points down the 1 yard line. But here's the deal. TD drives for Winnipeg tonight. 4 for 67 yards, 9 for 104. That was the big one. They started down inside their 10. 10 for 81. That took about 13, 14 minutes of this game on those drives alone.
Here is Canadian QB Nathan Rourke. Fires up over the middle. Second round pick by the Lions in 2020. So rookie QB who's had a chance this year to get pressed into action. He's looked very confident, very cool. Young player, 10 of 18, 194. Pair of picks, pair of touchdowns.
First start against Saskatchewan, and that surprise when Riley didn't start that game, and he did, and then Riley came back in.
Well, the Lions are not going to win this game, but there's a chance here to get some confidence. Again, they're going into a bye week, but also try to put some points on the board against an indomitable Winnipeg defense.
And that was Jacob Scarfoni who caught that curl route. So if Whitehead is going to be out in the future, they need to get these young receivers some reps.
Some time, some reps. Well, that's another factor we're going to talk about over the next few days. They're going to check out Lucky Whitehead if he's ready to go. Clearly that hand didn't look like it, even though he bravely went back into action. Drew Wolotarski for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That could be a concern too. So they'll check him out. See how that plays out. Third down play now for Rourke. 23-year-old Victoria, BC native.
Can he score a major?
Can he score a major?
In the fourth quarter against the Bomber defense. Against the Bomber defense.
Which has not allowed one. That's impressive. And again, I think you said it earlier. You know, we probably came in here with this game thinking that with BC's track record and the way they were trending lately, Michael Riley in particular, that this would have been a closer game. And it was after one quarter. Rourke in trouble, spinning and fumbling. And the Lions, did they get it back? Shaq Cooper. Oh, no. Fumbled football. Deandrick Hansen was in there. But, you know, after all of that, that second quarter, it seems the mojo for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers right now is undeniable. This is a team that is full of confidence. They are trying to flush out some of the noise about how good they are.
How good they are, yeah. Different type of noise than when you're struggling, yeah.
And again, it's Scarponi.
But that's interesting because I asked Zach that, and I talked to the Bombers. How difficult is it when everyone tells you you're the best team in the league over and over and over again? You're coming out of a bye, and that can get into your mind, and you start to relax, take your foot off the pedal. They certainly did not do that. They refreshed during the bye, came back, and put it on the lines.
That comes from their coach Mike O'Shea as well, and their entire coaching staff. About being humble, and that's how you win championships, staying humble, keeping your feet on the ground, and don't let the noise affect the room.
Whether you're great or struggling, same thing. Yeah, and the guy who is the epitome of that is Richie Hall, their defensive coordinator, who is, I know as a former teammate of Coach Hall's, how even-keeled he is, how humble he is, and how hard he works. And that will trickle through your whole team as well.
2nd and 10. Rourke calls out some signals. A little pump now. Rourke to the end zone. And picked off. Mike Jones with the interception. His first of the season. And the Blue Bombers are going to pitch another shutout here in another 4th quarter. That's incredible.
It really is. This is game 8, and now they have given up 2 field goals and a shot for the Lions to lose this. At least they were going to lose this game anyway, but at least break that trend. And Mike Jones says, I don't think so. I don't think so.
You know what's trending more? Blue and gold. Yeah. Defense, offense, special teams. You would think that Zach Collaros would be out. Sean McGuire in for those reps that you might need again. And McGuire is getting a lot of touches, of course.
This for you, Mace. This for you, Mace.
Short yardage.
This for you, Mace.
Good shit, baby.
That boy hit you a little bit, huh?
Mike Jones played so well in that Grey Cup game back in 2019. This Winnipeg team, since that Grey Cup win, since they got Zach Collaros, will go to 11-1.
And this year outscored opponents 68-6 in the 4th quarter.
Yikes.
That's a good football team.
Edmonton Elks coming into Winnipeg at Masters Group Field next week. Meyer wants to throw.
Look at that.
For Lawler in traffic. Big 3rd down. Big one tomorrow, Suits.
Yep. Get on that plane early in the morning.
Braylon Addison back. Brandon Banks back. Jeremiah Masoli back. Alouettes, Tiger Cats. Orlando Steinauer undefeated at home. And then we have this one at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. The Saskatchewan Roughriders coming off a win here in BC against the Stamps, who have been struggling out of the gate. Will that continue, or will we see a Calgary team we've seen after bye weeks? 14-2.
Ricardo Lewis, can he have another big game?
Yeah.
Emerged here in BC Place with that come from behind win.
That one tomorrow, the green and red game. McMahon Stadium, lots of green, lots of red. Tonight, lots of blue and gold in BC Place. Mike Miller again. Even when he gets banged up, bounces back, comes back, and he's usually in the middle of a special teams play.
Unnecessary roughness. BC number 2, 15-yard penalty. First down.
You know, the special teams are, it's the only unit that the entire team watches the video. When you have the offensive breakdown, it's just the offense.
Yeah.
Defense, just defense. But when it's special teams, the whole team is in there. And they watch this guy go to work, and it's like they love Mike Miller. His teammates love him for the way he does just what you saw right there.
Mike Miller puts the special in special teams. Maritimer from Riverview, New Brunswick. Lions are just going to take a knee here.
Frustration from Brian Burnham.
Well, you're
Not surprised, man. He's a competitor, and this does not feel good if you're a BC Lion.
You're taking a knee. You're down 30-9. I know there's only a few seconds left. You're probably just going to suck it up and get ready for the bye week and get home. But
he wants to run a play.
And you have to think, you got a young quarterback, give him a chance. I know this game is over, but an opportunity.
Yeah, I hear you. I would keep playing. I would, like that would be my choice. I think in fairness to Rick Campbell, he's saying, look, we've got a couple of guys that we lost already in this game. This game is over. Do we need to get another injury? Let's regroup and get ready for next week. Or are they in the bye next week?
They're in the bye next week, but man, they wave goodbye tonight to this one. 30-9. Again, the Bombers give up nothing in the fourth quarter. Zach Collaros goes over 400. Kenny Lawler goes over 200. The class of the CFL got a little classier tonight. They've won 5 in a row. They are 7-1. Run all over the BC Lions tonight. Big doubleheader tomorrow. Owls and Cats, Riders and Stamps. That's it from here. The W gets another W. Good night, everybody, from Vancouver. Here comes Sports Center.